What a player Gareth Bale is. What a player. What a man. What a star. What a pro. What a human being. Now suddenly, the way this guy ended his Real Madrid career makes total sense. We know that he ended his career on the golf courses, and I get it now because this guy was preparing himself for today. Because alongside the 2 brilliant goals he scored alongside Harry Kane, Tottenham are the reason why we have booked a place in this year's Champions League. Tottenham, not us. Not us taking responsibility on the final day to secure our fate by our own hands, by our own work, our own effort. No, Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur, the club that keeps on giving. What is happening? What a mad day of football. I told you guys from the start that Leicester City, around times like this, they crumble, they fall. It was bound to happen. I'm not surprised by them fumbling it. I'm really not. If anything, I'm even more frustrated and annoyed by our defeat against them in the FA Cup final where we didn't do enough. Disgraceful in hindsight right now, even more of a bigger disgrace. And you know what, I guess for us, this game was no surprise. This defeat in a must-win game at the end of the season against Aston Villa, this was not a surprise. We've been showing that we cannot score. We can't create opportunities. We can't create chances. And we've consistently seen from Tuchel that there is no plan B to get anything working. You know, now when I look back at some of the criticism that Lampard was getting for nonsense like spamming crosses inside the box, bruv, what difference are we seeing now? What difference are we seeing now? We spent hundreds of millions on attacking players that were supposed to elevate us and take us to the next level. Their goals playing decisive parts to take us to those levels we're trying to get to. They ain't done that. The irony, the beautiful irony, they have not done that. We rely upon the new signings. We rely upon the experienced guys who ain't coming in and coming through and helping the team out. The performances I saw from Jorginho and Kovacic, my God, can you imagine that? Like constantly we keep hearing about these 2 players in particular, Jorginho and Kovacic. They're great players, they're great pros, the way they keep the ball, maintain possession, their press resistance, their technical ability, their game intelligence, blah, 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 blah. You know what? It's not even be a decade, yeah? I mean, of course, these guys are good players. Let's not forget, this used to be a club that used to have Frank Lampard's, Michael Essien, Makelele, Michael Ballack, Ramirez, Matic, Fabregas, I can go on. Players that were world class, players that helped you win titles and won you titles, trophies, points, everything. That's the levels. How have we literally dropped our levels this low? Where players like Jorginho and Kovacic, they out of 10 games, they put in 6 great performances, 4 bad ones. We're praising them alongside guys like your Lampards and Co, who never put in bad games, who never let down the team, who were never in positions where they didn't step up for the team. Like, come on. Let's remember what we used to have in midfield, because for me, to date, when I saw Kovacic George, when I saw Azpilicueta wing back and Reece James right centre back, in my head I was just thinking, please Tuchel, do not tell me you use this game in preparation for the game against Man City, because if you're even daring to think about using Jorginho and Kovacic in midfield against Man City and Azpilicueta as a wing back, nah, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot, and you're doing this overthinking that you was doing at Paris Saint-Germain, where you're just trying to do tactics for no reason at times that cost you in the end and cost us fans. Please do not tell me that we've come to this stage in the season to just fumble and bottle the whole lot, because I don't know how I'll cope, you guys. Honestly, I was so disappointed by the team today, by the manager, the selection. This game, if we had lost it, it would have been deserved, because consistently under Tuchel's reign, there have been no areas in which you improve offensively. He's done nothing to build some attacking cohesion, some attacking balance, some attacking threat. And you know what? We get to a stage like this where, even though it's been something in the back of all of our minds, we kind of just brush it off and overlook it, because when we play games this season, we've played massive games against Madrid in the Champions League, against the top 4 clubs, and sandwiched between those games where we picked up results have been games against your bottom half teams where we've consistently fumbled the bag. And it makes sense how we've done that, because it's like a psychological thing. You know, if we played a game against Real Madrid and then we pick up a 0-0 against, I don't know, a Wolves or whatever, you kind of tell yourselves, well, we have to expect that, because the team put in such a shift against the big boys that, you know, it only makes sense that we can't maintain that same consistency for a game 3 days after. But for me, this is why I can't accept it. This is where it's not good enough, because there's been plenty of time. We have such a strong squad, a balanced squad, where for me, it was fairly obvious from when Tuchel first took us the first game against Wolverhampton that there had to be a plan B against teams in the bottom half. A plan B against teams that look to play on the counter-attack, that look to sit back and defend deep. And there's been none of that. We haven't seen it. And the irony, the beautiful irony, is that Tammy Abraham, a guy that is destined to be leaving the club, unfortunately, I do feel sad, because he's been underappreciated. Anyway, he's destined to leave. And the irony is that last season, everyone didn't rate him because he only scored goals against the bad clubs, the shit clubs. This season, them same shit clubs we can't score against. We got 50 million up front. We got, 70 million players on the field who can't get on the ball in the back of the net. But we had a player that had shown that he can consistently get the goals, hence the 30 goals plus he scored over 2 seasons in Tammy Abraham, who never was used or never was utilised. Every single time I see a cross play from us inside the box of the opposition team, and I see Werner not getting on the end of that. I see the ball bouncing on the back of his head, going backwards, or coming off his shoulder, coming off his hands. Or I see no one attempting to go for those aerial balls inside the box. I'm thinking, bruv, we had Tammy Abraham, but that was his bread and butter. It's a complete disgrace. A complete disgrace. If anything, you want to have your tactics for the big games, there has to be preparation and something set up for teams like this, your Aston Villas, your Wolves, your Brightons, etc., etc. The teams where we've been consistently fumbling the points and fumbling the bags. It's just so ironic, because we're a team where we don't score 3 goals under Tuchel. We win games 1-0 by 1 goal or by 2 goals. If Tammy Abraham got the minutes that Giroud got at least, or if Tammy Abraham got half the minutes Werner got at least, this guy's getting goals. I bet any money on it. He's guaranteed at least minimum 3, 4, 5 goals. And please, imagine where we could be if we had 3 or 5 extra goals in this team. We'd be secure. We'd have been secure time back. Because we're not even banging in goals like that anyway. The way Tuchel has just completely disregarded a player that has been scoring important goals for us and putting in a shift to, maintain his trust and faith in your Werners. But I keep looking at the team and, bro, we're not a team that is going to ever get the best out of this guy, are we? Strikers like him who run in behind, rely upon service. You don't even have Hakim Ziyech in the team. Who is the guy that's ever set up Timo Werner consistently this season? We've seen, 50, 60 plus games, and we haven't seen it. It's not good enough. And we're going back in the market to sign another number 9, because it's quite obvious that this team needs a 9 if we have any hopes of going to the next level. It took us, spending over 200 million to find that out? Wow, mad. Absolutely mad, you guys. I'm angry because games like this, we should be taking responsibility in our own hands and securing this. I look at the old Chelsea teams back in the day, games like this, the result was coming, you're expecting it. You don't have to demand it, you're expecting it because you know what these guys are going to bring. Wow, the same mistakes, the same favoritism, and I'm saying it, favoritism, I'm seeing Pulisic, who has not had a good season whatsoever. Yes, injuries have played a part, but other than 4 or 5 games, he's been awful. It's been the same for Kai Havertz, who it's obvious that this guy just struggles with the tempo of the Premier League. Timo Werner, who's shown no improvements as the season's gone on, even though he's got the most consistent minutes of any attacking player this season because of pace. I mean, what does it matter if you can't put the ball in the back of the net? I'm not happy, you guys. I'm not. That midfield collapse, of course, we saw that collapse from Kovacic and George, of course. These guys can't consistently play to a high level every single game. We have to realise that about them. We have to accept that. There's a reason why Tuchel had to sub off both Jorginho and Kovacic, because both these idiots picked up yellow cards in their game today, and they were both destined and set to get sent off and get a second one. Oh my God, my God. I should be happy because we're in the Champions League, but with a performance like this, relying upon, Leicester to bottle it, nah, it's not good enough, because in a different universe, we haven't secured it. We're not in the Champions League, we're out. And for me, when I'm seeing the same consistent mistakes this season that have been an issue, that have not been addressed, not been approved upon, nothing's been done. Like, I'm sorry, for God's sake, how can we have a squad like this and you're telling me we've only ever used a back three system throughout this entire season? How? Oh, it's quite clear that this back three only suits our midfield and suits our defence. We're not banging in the goals, we're not looking free-flowing, inconsistencies up front. And I don't like that we have to constantly turn towards the market every single time when we have solutions here already that needs a different setup and just more bravery, for God's sake. It's the pragmatism that's just been killing us at times, where unnecessary tactics. I said this before, but the fact that Azpilicueta is playing wing back against Aston Villa in a game you have to win. Why can't this guy come in the final half an hour if you want to secure the defense? Because I just keep thinking to myself, okay, is Aspi in this team in case ghazi is able to go one-on-one with the goalkeeper, meeting the last ditch tackle? Because I don't understand it. Consistently favouring the experienced players all the time. We're seeing Callum and Co get less and less minutes as the season's been going on. And for what? Honestly, for what? I get it in certain games, in the big games, yeah, go for it. But please, this is not the solution for any and every single game. Yeah, it's mad. Even doing this video, I'm feeling stupid because it's like, Nini, we're in the Champions League now. We've done it. There's no need to be angry. But the fact that this was not in our hands, we weren't controlling our own fate. It would have been the fault of Tuchel for sure. Unnecessary lineup, selections, not working on plan Bs throughout the season. I don't like that we have players like Hakim Ziyech and then there's no use for him in the system, because our system prioritizes our defense and our midfield and balance and stopping the opposition creating chances. It will take you only so far, and I need to see what Tuchel's going to bring for next season. Now, if he's going to be able to sign players he wants, they need to be exceptional and they have to be better and levels to what we have. If they're not, don't waste your time. I'm hearing rumours about Weigl from Benfica. Bro, I don't want the German Jorginho. We already got one. That's enough. Yeah? Now, you guys, I don't normally record my reviews like this, but, this game today, nah, it's not good enough. And I'm nervous as fuck with the game against Man City now. We've got a whole week. And as I'm saying, if one of the plans is to have Aspi and Reece James swapping positions for God knows what reason, then I think Tuchel's got to go back to that drawing board and really consider what the tactics are going to be, because let's play with some balls for once. When we don't play with balls, we lose games. And the clearest example of this was the FA Cup final against Leicester City, where we lost. Yeah, the must-win game for us, our final this season, the game against Leicester. Look at the levels and performances that we saw. It sums it up. And I know I shouldn't be so negative like this, you guys. I know I'm not feeling too good. I'm not going to blame it on all the beers I've been drinking today. I'm not going to do that. It's too lazy. But nah, I just hate seeing the same bullshit that constantly continues to just fuck us over time and time again, and nothing is addressed, nothing's done about it. It's frustrating. It's not accepted, and hopefully the team wakes the fuck up and gets serious for this Champions League final against Man City, because to have this run of form before one of the biggest games we might see for years and years is nerve-wracking. It's not great, you guys. And yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna wrap things up and keep things moving. I just wanted to just get my frustrations out in this review. I'll release the player ratings while I go through the players individually, but we've done it. We're in the Champions League next season, but we got to see a lot fucking more, you guys. So I'm in the FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.